Okay, this should be part of your notes. Add this to your notes, and we're going to call this working backwards. Okay, you're working from an area or from a circumference or perimeter backwards to find the dimensions of your shape in question, right? And I will give you some more formulas here and we will highlight them, okay, to make it a little easier. Right, the area of a triangle is 34 square meters. So for two things, right? They give you they tell you that it's a triangle and that the area is given to you, right? So we know that the area of this triangle is that. The base, right? The base measures 8 meters. They want the height. That's the unknown. Okay. So base is given, height is unknown to us. Okay. So we start with the area of a triangle, knowing that it's this, right? Area of a triangle would be base times height divided by 2. From this formula, we can conclude two things. If you wanted the base, you would have to multiply the area by 2. My bad. So you should write this down and make sure this finds its way. 2 times the area of the triangle, right? You would double, you multiply both sides to get rid of that. And then that answer gets divided by the height. Right? Another formula, so this is one that comes from it. Another one that comes from it is to find the height, you do the same thing. Except for you divide by base here. So I'm going to box these in. And I know I added this to your notes earlier when we started this unit. Okay. So those are the two formulas that are derived, that come from that original, right? We've manipulated it. We've used algebra to make that happen. So we're just making this conclusion, right? So what are we asked to find? The height. So we're going to use this formula. So to find the height, we're going to go 2 times the area divided by whatever the base is. The base measures 8. Okay, so you get, do this in brackets if you have brackets, or do 2 times 34 to get 68 and then divide it by 8. Okay, and that's 8.5. And we are in meters, right? So height is 8.5 meters. That's what they wanted in this question. So essentially, imagine a triangle, right? It has a base of 8 meters. You've just found that the height of this triangle would have to be 8.5. Right? And you can try it. Go 8 times 8.5 divided by 2. Do you get 34? Right? So we'll check. 8 times 8. My bad. 8 times 8.5, right, divided by 2. Wait a minute. What happened here? Oh, I went times 2. Sorry. Divided by 2 is 34 there. 68 divided by 2 is 34. So this checks out. This is what they wanted. Okay? Next, the circle. Circle is trickier. Okay? So we're going to do a bunch of circles. The area is that, right? So this is part of a note. The area of a circle is this. They tell us that it's a circle, and they want the radius and the diameter. We know that radius and diameter, they're very closely related, so we're just going to find the radius first. Okay? Now, the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. From this, we derive that to get the radius, we would have to take the area of the circle, divide it by pi, and take the square root of that. Again, I'm boxing this in because, right, so this goes with that, triangle goes with these two, okay? So we're going to find the radius first. The radius is square root, make a big square root like that. The area of the circle is 350. Pi is just pi, right? But calculating this is the tricky part, okay? I don't have my good calculator here, so I'm going to try one that isn't as good. Okay, so this one right here. If it works, it does work. Okay. Oh, it's dying on me. Never mind. I'm going to use my other one. This one is a little fancier than what you would normally have. But anyways, you go 350 divided by pi. So I go second, and I find where my pi button is. Okay. Shift or second or something like that will usually do the trick, and then just go find a button that has a pi just above it, or use 3.14159. So that is 11.484084. But this is you, and a lot of you have good calculators, right? So you do this. You're not done yet, right? You just write this down, and then R, you do this. You take the square root of it. Right, square root of your answer. Sorry. I'm going to go find my other calculator. Sorry, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to confuse you because you don't have those graphing calculators. Anyways, here, 350 divided by pi. I need to go shift exponent. You get that, and then you take the square root of your answer, and that's 10.56. And we are in feet. The diameter, just leave what's on your screen and multiply it by 2. That way you're not rounding early, and that's 21.11. And you've answered both. Okay, so that's how you do those. Make sure you write down these formulas on your study sheet, right? Because you're gonna need them. Okay, you can't, if you forget them, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay. Question 3. Circumference of a circle measures 500 miles. Calculate the area of the circle. I'm going to add something here. You need to find the radius first. Okay, you need to find the radius first. Here I'm going to give you something else. The circumference is 2 pi r, because they're giving you the circumference, not the radius. From that, you can derive that to get the radius, you would have to take the circumference and divide it by 2 pi. But this has to be in brackets. Make sure that is in brackets. Again, box this in so you have it ready to go. So the radius in this case is the circumference, which is 500, that comes from my formula here, divided by 2 pi. And I'll show you how to calculate this. Grab your calculator, not your cell phone, right? You go 500 divided by, and then use brackets. 2 times pi, close brackets like that. Or else you will not get the right answer. And that's 79.58. And we are in miles. And now we use this, right, to find area. Now, find area. And I will allow you to round to 2 decimals here, okay? So area would be pi times 79.58 squared. So you go pi times 79.58 squared, and that is 19,895.63 squared miles. Okay. So make sure you write that down. You're given the area of a circle, find the circumference. Find radius first, again. Okay? You find the radius first. You're given the area. So on your study sheet, you're like, okay, wait a minute. There's radius here, there's radius there. Which one do I use? Oh, wait a minute. This one involves the area and this one involves the circumference. I'm involving the area here, so I need to use this one up here. So the radius would be square root of area of the circle divided by pi. Unlike before, I used the circumference, right? So this would be 750 divided by pi, square root of that. So watch how I'm doing this. 750 divided by pi equals, then take the square root, that's 15.45 feet. Now find area. Pi r squared. Oh, sorry. Find the circumference. Undo, undo, undo. Control Z, right? Hope that would be nice to be able to do that. Circumference is 2 pi 1545. And you can do this all in one shot. 2 times pi times 1545. And that's 97.08 feet, only feet, right? So you went from, right? We went from area of a circle to radius to circumference, right? Up here, we went from circumference to radius to area. So the middleman or the middle person is always your radius, okay? In a circle, that's what you can do, right? You can find one or the other as long as you have the radius. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is do the rest of these questions on your own. That I don't do homework very often, right? But do the rest, and then tomorrow we will correct this, and I will draw some of these questions out to ACU from that. Okay, so be ready for it. Be ready for some composite shapes, and we will continue our journey through this chapter one day at a time. All right. You can log off if you're at home. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.